that what is today's session going to be all about and why we chose this topic, because in English Times platform we never ever have conducted such kind of session where we will be talking about something which people correlated to spiritual, like on a spiritual background. We never ever have touched this topic. We always do communicate about English. We always do communicate about different tools, techniques that we need to master communication skills. But we never ever touched this topic. And today, all of your presence itself shows that you are interested to know about it. So, before we begin, I request all of you that it is going to be for 1 hour. And I request all of you to please be on mute. At the end, the chat section and the audio section is also going to get open at the end. Q&A session is there at the end, so you can have all your doubts and queries. At the end, you can ask whatever comes into your mind. So let's get started with this amazing workshop of today's evening. So there is a famous saying by Rabindranath Tagore, I guess all of you know. And literally it pinched me when I started this venture, English Times. And this English Times platform has a lot to do with the topic that we are going to cover today. And this is a famous line you must have heard in any kind of advertisement, that is, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. Means if people do not come to you, if people do not support you, then you should go alone. So I decided that, okay, let's start. Let's not wait for others to come and support. And that is why today the topic which I have brought for all of you, and I'm going to use both Hindi and English so that I can make myself clear. तो आज का जो टॉपिक है वो चिंता युक्त नहीं चिंता मुक्त होने के लिए है. So this is the first line that I would like to tell you to begin with. So today's topic is all about mukti from chinta yukt to chinta mukt. There is a famous saying from this verse itself, from this book itself, and I'm not going to call it a holy book for sure. Why? Definitely I'm going to explain it. So there is a famous line in this book, and this line says that if you want to change your foreground, change your background. एक बहुत अच्छे शायर ने बोला है कि मैं जिंदगी भर लगा रहा अपनी परिस्थितियां बदलने को यारो. मैं जिंदगी भर लगा रहा अपनी परिस्थिति को बदलने को यारो. अपनी मनस्थिति को बदला, परिस्थिति वैसे ही बदल गई. And this is what we are going to do in today's workshop. We are going to work upon manasthiti, not paristhiti. So paristhiti or the situation is external and it is not in our control, but yes, our response to it is in our control. And that is what we are going to learn in today's session. Now, before we begin, I would like to clarify some of the myths that all of us at a certain point of time have developed over a period of time. So people do come and ask that Bhagavad Gita. At first, what is Bhagavad Gita? And I'm going to cover all the sections one by one, so please be with me. Do not end because so many things are going to come. What is Bhagavad Gita? So Gita means Geet, sing, a song, right? Geet means song. Yes, Kashvi, it is not our Hindu holy book. I will tell you why. So I will definitely tell you why. So at first, Gita is Geet, means song. Bhagavat, Bhag means Bhagwan. Bhagwan. And Shrimad, we always say Shrimad. So Shri means goddess Radha, and Mad means Ashirwad, blessings. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita means the words, the song which was sung by Lord Krishna 5,200 years ago under the blessing of Sri Radha. That is called Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Means it is a song that was sung for the betterment, for the upliftment of humanity. This is the definition of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Now let's go into the next question. The question that arises that is it a religious text? Means is it meant only for Hindus, or is it meant for Muslim community? Is it meant for Christianity, and or is it meant for everybody? Now let me clarify one doubt, and these are scientific explanations. I'm not giving any false explanation at all. First, Christianity came in on earth 500 years ago. Christianity came on earth 500 years ago. Muhammad the Prophet came into this earth 1,000 years ago. Muhammad the Prophet came into this earth 1,000 years ago. And Hinduism came into this earth only 2,000 years ago. Only 2,000 years ago. But Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,200 years ago. That means at that point of time, there was no religion at all. There was only one religion where 4 segments were there, means people were either Brahmins or they were Kshatriyas, means fighters, soldiers. Like the entire humanities was divided into 4 categories. But there was no religion at that point of time. And that is why in this entire book, in this entire Bhagavad Gita, nowhere it is mentioned that it is meant for any specific religion. That's why in this Bhagavad Gita, nowhere it has been mentioned that it is only meant for Hindus, because there was no Hinduism at that point of time at all. So that covers the first explanation. It is the message which was addressed to soul, and soul has no religion. So this is a guide for everyone. First question. Second question. Is it meant only for Indians, or even people from abroad can also read? Again, to address this question, I would like to tell that nowhere in this book it has been written that it can be read only by Indians. Nowhere Lord Krishna said that since I am conducting this session in India, so only Indians can read. No, nowhere it has been said. It is meant for humanity and everyone can read it, everyone can go through it. Third question, which comes into people's mind. Is it only for people who have attained a certain age, or even a youth can also read? Or is it only meant for monks or people who do worship God? Or is it meant for everyone? Now let's look into the plotting of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There was one God, that is Lord Krishna, and there was Arjuna. Now, if I talk about the Arjuna who actually consumed Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was neither a saint. Arjuna was a pure grihasthi. In Hindi we call grihasth. Means he married 4 times during his lifetime. So this proves that the listener who first listened to Bhagavad Gita, he himself was not a sannyasi. So this instance itself proves that it is meant for every single person. So Bhagavad Gita is for everyone. It is not only for monks. It was not recited by Lord Krishna to any saint or any acharya. It was told by the Almighty directly to the person who was grihasth, means Arjuna, who married 4 times, and it was told to him. So that means Bhagavad Gita is meant for everyone. So these are some doubts that arises in people's mind, and I really would like to clarify it before going ahead. Now let's understand Bhagavad Gita. And what you will be getting if you read it. And after that, we are going to talk about some lessons out of it. And this time, this is the first time ever that we are not using any slides, because Bhagavad Gita has so much to offer that even the slides cannot cover every single message at all. So let me go through it one by one. First, Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,002 years ago. And it is different from religion. And this was the first motivational seminar ever happened on planet Earth. First motivational seminar, because it was given to Arjuna by Lord Krishna. That was the first motivational seminar. So what happened, that there was this battlefield of Kurukshetra, where the armies engaged, two armies engaged in a fight against each other. So there were Kauravas and Pandavas. So Kauravas were there with 100 brothers and Pandavas with 5 brothers. So they were fighting against each other. Now in between, this plotting happened, means this Bhagavad Gita emerged out of a fight. So while the plotting was there, so Arjuna had some conflicts going on in his mind. So he had his own battle. He did not want to fight with his brothers. And just like Arjuna had his own fight, so we are with our own fights. Every single human being is going through his or her own fights. Throughout the life, we go through different challenges, different fights. And that is when what we do, we give up on our goals. We just surrender. Now let me take the example of English as well, since it is an English communication class. So what happens that after a while, when we feel that now English is not coming to us, we just try to give it up. We just try to throw our caryot, like throw our, what we call, dhanush in Hindi, right? Gandiv. So we just throw every single tool and we just get demotivated. And this happens in every human's life, and it exactly happened with Arjuna when he saw that he had to fight against his brothers with his kiths and kins. In English, we call it kiths and kins. So Arjuna completely gave up. So 5 Pandavas were none other than the 5 sense organs that we have. 5 sense organs that we have. And those 100 brothers against whom Arjuna had to fight, those 100 people were the distractions, the challenges that we face in our life. So Arjuna had to go through all of this. Just okay. So Arjuna and his brothers, like all together, they were 5 brothers, means our 5 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and our skin. And we come across hundreds of distractions in our life. And when hundreds of challenges, hundreds of distractions come into our life, what we do? We give up. And that is exactly what Arjuna did. He gave up. He said that this fight is not meant for me. I cannot do this. I cannot fight against this. And this is what we do when we face challenges, when we face problems in our life. We just give up. We just say that no, it is not meant for us. We are not meant to fight such big battles. It's better to go and play safe rather than taking any risk. And Arjuna also went through same situation. He just gave up. And he started crying, he started lamenting. And he started asking his questions to Lord Krishna. He started sharing all his grievances to Lord Krishna. That I cannot fight. These are heavy battles for me to fight. I cannot. Means what am I going to get out after this? I do not want to fight at all. And this is what we do when we face challenges in our life, isn't it? Now, let me give you the plotting. This is what happened. So this was the plotting. Now, the entire Bhagavad Gita had 700 shlokas. So I will go into the gist of the chapter because it is not possible to discuss the shlokas. But there were 700 shlokas. So the entire Mahabharata, out of which this Bhagavad Gita came. So the Mahabharata composed of 1 lakh shlokas. 1 lakh shlokas. And out of which this 700 shlokas were spoken by Lord Krishna. Means it is of Bhagavad Gita. So what happened? That people do come and ask me that, sir, is it does this book even has a relevance at all, or this was spoken 5,200 years ago? So right now we have entered in the 21st century. Is there any relevance of it at all, or is it just a book, just like anything? So at first, please do not think that this is a book, this is a scripture, or this is a Puran. Please do not think like this. I still remember I had a friend of mine who was very successful. He came to me and asked one day that, Arindam, I would like to know one thing from you. Then I said, yes, please say. Then he said, Arindam, every single day I had Bhagavad Gita in my home. So my father, what he does every single day before going back to his, before going to office, he just use it and pray and then go. And my father is really very successful. Even my grandfather also used to do like this, that he used to pray Bhagavad Gita and he used to go to his office and he was also successful. So Arindam, even I have also planned like this. I am also going to pray and I'm going to go to office and I will be successful. And then I literally asked that person that in Hindi I said, समझ लो अगर प्रणाम करके प्रार्थना करके इतना चमत्कार होता है तो अगर पढ़ लोगे तो कितना चमत्कार हो जाएगा. And he was completely astonished. So 700 shlokas, the entire book is divided into 18 chapters. The entire book is divided into 18 chapters. And in the first chapter is all about Arjuna sharing his problems to Lord Krishna. That I cannot fight, I want to give up, I just do not want to follow my passion. I know that I have to fight my battle. I know that I have to fight against these mighty warriors. I know that I have all the strength as well. Arjuna was the greatest archer of his time. In fact, the finest archer. He had all the abilities to kill every single person. He had the skill set. Arjuna के पास skills थे successful होने के लिए. He had all the skills. जैसे कि हम लोग आजकल क्या कर रहे हैं, इंग्लिश सीख रहे हैं. We are trying to learn the skills. तो अर्जुना के पास वो सारी skills थी. He had all the skills. But skills होने के बावजूद भी he thought that he should give up, जो कि हम भी करते हैं. What we do, we just think that we should give up. Every single person of us, we do it when we face circumstances against us. So Arjuna had this problem. He had the skill, but he thought that no, I should give up. So in this entire first chapter, it was the Arjuna who lamented, who shared his problems to Lord Krishna. That I cannot fight. I know I have the skills, but still I do not want to fight. I am going to fail. So instead of me failing, I should rather not attempt. So please, I am going, let me leave this fight and let me go to some temple and let me become a monk because I do not want to fight. And this is exactly what we do. So in this entire first chapter, Lord Krishna did not even utter a single word. Lord Krishna ने एक भी बात नहीं बोली उस पूरे चैप्टर में. उन्होंने अर्जुन को सिर्फ बोलने दिया. And Lord Krishna kept on listening, और Lord Krishna सिर्फ सुनते रहे. एक भी word नहीं बोला. From second chapter onwards, Lord Krishna took the command. So this is the first lesson that we can learn from Lord Krishna, that he was a patient listener. He was a patient listener. And I am sharing the wisdom of communication skills through Bhagavad Gita. So throughout the first chapter, he did not utter even a single word. So he was a patient listener. He was trying to understand the problems of Arjuna. But in our daily life, what we do, we do not listen to anyone. We listen so that we listen to
We
respond.
listen.
This is what happens. We always listen to respond to the people. इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन में भी तो ऐसा ही होता है. क्वेश्चन आया नहीं, हम बोलना चालू कर देते हैं. So Krishna was a patient listener. Throughout the one chapter, where 47 shlokas were there, he kept silent. He did not utter even a single word. And in our daily life, what we do, before listening, we just start speaking. And this is the rule of communication, that you have to be a patient listener before you understand anything. Because when you become a patient listener, you try to understand the situation. And when you understand the situation, then only you get into the state of giving the best resolution. When it comes to communication as well, try to understand the question at first, analyze it, and then give the solution, then give the answer. So Krishna, 5,200 years ago, taught us through his action, though he was God, but still he could not say anything. He kept on listening for the entire chapter, the entire one chapter, he kept on listening and he allowed Arjuna to speak. So become a patient listener. This is the first thing that Krishna has taught us through his action. Even Mahatma Gandhi, great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Vikram Sarabhai, Albert Einstein, APJ Abdul Kalam, they also used to refer to this manual. In fact, APJ Abdul Kalam gave his credit of missile to Bhagavad Gita only, because in Bhagavad Gita he read about that Brahmastra. That Brahmastra, when people throw, it can kill multiple people at once. So that is from where he got the idea of attacking missiles. So people can learn a lot from it, and Lord keeps on teaching from time to time. Now, हर एक पंछी की उड़ान की एक लिमिट होती है. So every bird has a limit. So even I also have my limits, but still I am trying my level best to give you the lessons in the best possible manner. Now, people do ask me that, sir, is it that it is not meant for life, like it is only meant for afterlife? Sir, ये जिंदगी जीने की बुक नहीं है. ये जिंदगी में मरने की बाद की बुक है. मीन्स मरने के बाद क्या करना चाहिए उसकी बुक है ये. It is a life book. That's why if you could see the topic, it is not the book that you can read after life. It is the book that you should read while you are living your life. So ये life book है. This is a life manual from which you can learn a lot. So let me recite some shlokas and let me tell you what the meaning of this shloka and how you can apply this in your life. Some teachings from Bhagavad Gita. I'll try my level best to give you the lessons. So let me read the first shloka for all of you. I have it and I would like to read and listen to it because it has some lesson which you can learn, and it has something from which you can learn the art of communication and anything in your life. So the first shloka is Dharm Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yuyudsava Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Kuruvata Sanjaya. So this is the first shloka and I love it. This shloka is saying that there is a character called Dhritarashtra and he is a father of 100 Kauravas. And he was a kind of a father to Pandavas as well. So he asked his principal secretary or kind of minister, Sanjaya. So there were only 4 characters in Bhagavad Gita: Dhritarashtra, Sanjay, Krishna, and Arjuna. That's it. So Sanjaya had a mystical power that he could, while sitting at the palace, he could see the entire fight, entire battle. So Dhritarashtra, he was blind from the childhood. So he asked to Sanjaya that, Sanjaya, in this holy battlefield of Kurukshetra, my son and Pandava's son, when they met, what did they do? मेरे और पांडव के बेटे जब बच्चे जब मिले तो उन्होंने क्या किया? Now this is the first thing that you can learn from Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra had a wicked mentality. He never said that हमारे बच्चों ने क्या किया, because he was a big father of Pandavas as well. He was a big father for Pandavas. and he was father for 100 Kauravas as well. But instead of saying हमारे बच्चों ने क्या किया, he said मेरे बच्चों ने और मेरे भाई के बच्चों ने क्या किया. This is the first lesson that you can learn from leadership, on leadership skills. So whenever, for example, there is an organization, and if the boss differentiates between sales team, between procurement team, between the HR team. So if the boss keeps on discriminating between all these teams, sales is different, HR is different, administration is different, procurement, production is different. So what is going to happen? The clashes are going to happen when boss creates these discrepancies. So this is the first lesson on leadership which Lord Krishna is trying to teach. When Dhritarashtra said that मेरे और पांडवों के बच्चों ने क्या किया, he could have said हमारे बच्चों ने क्या किया, but he said पांडवों के बच्चों ने और मेरे बच्चों ने क्या किया. Means he was not willing to take the ownership. उनको ओनरशिप नहीं लेनी थी, उनको सिर्फ ये था कि मेरे बच्चे ठीक हो जाएं, पांडवों के बच्चे वो मरे कुछ भी हो, that's it. So leadership is something which we can learn from this first chapter. Leadership, take the ownership. If boss takes the ownership of every single department, then there will be no clashes among department and the organization can run smoothly. The same thing Lord Krishna is trying to teach us to manage family as well. Family में भी तो यही करते हैं. मेरे बेटे ने क्या किया, हमारी बहन के बेटे ने क्या किया, चाची के बेटी ने क्या किया, ताऊ की बेटी ने क्या किया. Instead of talking about हमारे बच्चों ने क्या किया, we always try to differentiate. And when we differentiate, clashes happen. And when clashes happen, of course, we could not live our life happily. In the first shloka itself, you can learn this leadership. Please just give me a second, everyone. Please just give me a second. Yeah, thank you. So this is the first lesson that we can learn from it. See the first shloka, there are 700 shlokas, my God. And in the first shloka, it has the tremendous power to teach you this. So let me give you an example. आपकी एक कंपनी है, आपसे कोई पूछता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर एन एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द कंपनी, आप एक एम्प्लॉय हो एक कंपनी के और आपसे कोई पूछता है कि किसकी कंपनी है, आप क्या बोलते हो, हमारी कंपनी है. बट अगर उसी इंसान से पूछा जाए वाइफ किसकी है, तो वो क्या बोलेगा, हमारी वाइफ है या मेरी वाइफ है, मेरी वाइफ है, राइट. सो जब भी आप बोलते हो मेरी वाइफ है तो ओनरशिप आ जाता है, इट गिव्स यू द ओनरशिप. सो व्हेन इट कम्स टू योर वर्क, तो आप ऐसा क्यों नहीं बोलते ये मेरा वर्क है, इंस्टेड ऑफ सेइंग ये तो कंपनी का वर्क है, व्हाई डोंट यू से ये तो मेरा वर्क है. This is the first thing that you can learn from this one shloka itself. See how the magic that this book holds. Now let's go into the next part of this session. This one plotting also tells that in this entire Mahabharata, Lord Krishna was there, and Lord Krishna was a charioteer, means जो रथ चलाते हैं, and Arjuna was the person who had to fight his battle. So the question arises, when God was there, so God could have killed all of them. God, Lord Krishna खुद ही मार सकते थे सबको, right? He is the Almighty, वो खुद ही तो कर सकते थे. Then why he needed to arrange this fight? Why he needed to arrange this battle? तो अर्जुना ने अगर बोला था that I could not fight, so Lord Krishna could have said कि ठीक है तुम जाओ मैं खुद ही मार दूंगा, because I have the power. But Lord, if you can see in this book, the cover page itself, and let me show you one more thing. If I share my screen, so in the next screen, if you can see, in the next screen, you can see that Krishna is there, Arjuna is there, and the army is there in front of all of them. So Krishna could have fought against all of them and Arjuna could not even need to fight with everyone. But still what happened? It was the Arjuna who had to fight the battle. भगवान वहां पे भी तो थे, बट भगवान ने नहीं लड़ाई करी, लड़ाई किसने करी? अर्जुन ने करी. So Lord was there to guide Arjuna. Lord was there to support Arjuna. But it was the Arjuna who had to fight his own battle. And so it happens in our real life. What we do when something bad happens, we just go to God and say and pray, God, ye theek kar do, wo theek kar do, ye ho jaye, wo ho jaye. But through this act itself, Lord is telling you one thing, that I am there to guide you, but you have to fight your own battle. This is the second lesson that you can learn from this chapter. और अभी तो मैं श्लोक में बोलना शुरू भी नहीं किया है. I'm just talking about the plotting and these things are coming out. So through this act only, Lord is telling that I'm not going to fight for you. I'm so sorry. I have multiple jobs to be taken care of. It is you who have to fight your battles. But yes, you can always come to me for guidance. So this guidance, this wisdom was available to Arjuna, and through Arjuna right now this is available to all of us. Now we can get this wisdom even from this book as well. So there is no satisfaction without action. जब भी हम God के पास जाते हैं, we just pray और हम सब कुछ God पे छोड़ देते हैं that He will take care of the things. और हम inaction में चले जाते हैं. We do not take action. And there is a famous saying in this book itself which says there is no satisfaction without action. Let me ask you one thing. मेहनत गंदे होने के लिए करनी पड़ती है या साफ होने के लिए? Well, गंदे होने के लिए कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता. आप पड़े रहो, आप वैसे ही गंदे हो जाओगे. मेहनत साफ होने के लिए यानी नहाने के लिए करनी पड़ती है. So Lord is not going to come and tell you that okay, I will shower you, shower the water on you. You can clean your body. You have to go to washroom and you have to clean your body. And for that you have to take the efforts. और अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो गंदे तो आप वैसे ही हो जाओगे. And so is the importance of action in our life. If you do not take action, your body will automatically junk. And Lord is not going to help you in any case for sure. So please do not blame anything because Lord itself is sharing this wisdom that I am there to give you the guidance, but it is you who have to fight your own battle. I am not going to do for it. Second lesson. There is a famous saying also that to become bitter, bitter, you do not have to do anything. But to become better, 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 you have to do everything. So this is the lesson that also comes from Bhagavad Gita. Now, let's go to the next one, the next part of the session. So in the second chapter, when actually Lord took the command, because the entire first chapter was spoken by Arjuna, where he just talked about his problems, his life's miseries, that how can I fight again this battle? There are so many people, I cannot fight. I do not have any skills, which all of us also say. I cannot speak in English. My God, these are amazing communicators. How can I do? Grammar is there, rules are there, confidence is no, there is no confidence. There are multiple fears. So this happened with Arjuna as well. So he kept on speaking. But in the chapter 2, what he did one thing. In chapter 2, 2.7 verse, there is a shloka 2.7 where he shared one line. And this line is so close to me. This line is where Arjuna has said that I have understood one thing, that I have understood nothing. मुझे एक चीज तो समझ में आ गई है कि मुझे कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया. Means I thought that I know about people, I know about life. I thought that I am the greatest archer, I can defeat anyone. No one stands in front of me. I had an ego. I was full of confidence. But right now I do not have anything. So I have understood one thing, that I have understood nothing. So now please Lord, I surrender unto you. Please show me the direction. Through this act, Lord is sharing one fact, that we need to have a mentor in our life. A mentor to whom we can surrender, to who can listen to us and from whom we can learn. For example, right now this English session is there. You have all come to take the mentorship. So this is also, ये जो गुरु शिष्य प्रथा है, this also has taken place 5200 years ago. So we all need mentors, and Krishna through his act is telling how a teacher should act. टीचर को पहले प्रॉब्लम समझनी चाहिए, फिर स्टूडेंट को सोल्यूशन बताना चाहिए. So Krishna is telling about how to deal in your profession as well. कोई सेल्स प्रोफेशनल है, उसको पहले अपने कस्टमर को सुनना चाहिए, तब उसको प्रोडक्ट बताना चाहिए, पिच करना चाहिए. एक डॉक्टर है, उसको पहले पेशेंट को सुनना चाहिए, क्या प्रॉब्लम है, फिर उसको सोल्यूशन देना चाहिए. ऐसे ही नहीं कि कुछ भी बता दिया. राइट नाउ पीपल आर टेलिंग कोविड हो गया विदाउट इवन टेकिंग एनी टेस्ट एट ऑल. एंड फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट जॉब का एस्पिरेंट है, तो उसको पहले क्वेश्चंस देखने चाहिए, समझने चाहिए, फिर उसको रिएक्ट करना चाहिए. व्हाट वी डू विदाउट इवन लुकिंग इनटू द क्वेश्चन, हम आंसर लिखना चालू कर देते हैं. सो दिस इज एवरीथिंग दैट लॉर्ड इज टीचिंग अस थ्रू हिज एक्शन, राइट? सो these are some of the lessons. Now let's go ahead with the next part. In verse 2.14, means chapter 2, 14th shloka, Lord Krishna says, and this is a beautiful verse, and this is for all of you. It will help you in your personal, professional, and of course in improving your communication skills as well, where he says that there are two kinds of people. There are two kinds of people who live on earth. First one is circumstantial, second one is substantial. Circumstantial, if we talk about, these are the people who get affected by everyone around them. For example, you have any goal in your mind, but when you try to achieve it, there are people, maybe your family members, maybe your friends, maybe naysayers, who do come to you and say that you cannot do it. This is not your cup of tea. You should better leave it. ये तेरे से तो नहीं होगा, ये तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, right? You should better leave it. इंग्लिश मत बोलो, हिंदी बोलो, इंग्लिश आपके बस की बात नहीं, it is not meant for you. Or do not go for business, you should rather work for someone else. और अपना पैशन फॉलो मत करो, ये सब कुछ नहीं होता, पैशन does not give you the money. You should rather focus on money, पैसा कमाओ, that's it. So this is called circumstantial. These are circumstantial people. If circumstances change, they change. For example, if they see people are acting negative towards them, so they change their response. तो फिर वो अपना passion नहीं follow करते, फिर जो लोग बोलते हैं वो वैसा करना start कर देते हैं. This is the first category of people. The second one is substantial. These are the people who are driven from inside. No matter whatever happens around them, it does not affect. Because they are very much clear about their goal. They are very sharp focused. They know what they have to do in their life, and they keep on doing it. And Lord says that a circumstantial person can never achieve any success in his life. But a substantial person who is driven by within, never ever the external circumstances are going to influence him. And in English communication, again, I'll get back to it. What happens? That when somebody says no to us, we simply reject the idea of learning this skill. And we think that we should leave and we should live the life that we are leading. So become a substantial person. You should be very much clear about your goal. And once you have that clarity, work upon it. Do not care about what people say to you. Become a substantial person, because in this book, Lord is also telling. Okay, by the way, why am I telling this a book? Why am I not telling that this is a verse, this is Upanishad? Well, actually nor is it a Upanishad, and neither it is a Puran. What is Upanishad? Upanishad means books where whatever Lord says, we directly copy it and we publish it. Means Lord ने जो भी बोला उसको as it is बताना, that is Upanishad. And Puran means practical applications of Upanishad, case studies of Upanishad. यानी भगवान जो बोल रहे हैं उसको example से समझाना, that is Upanishad. History के बारे में बात करना, that is Upanishad. So this is the book which was spoken by Lord itself. तो ये आपका उपनिषद पुराण भी हो, ये आपका वेद भी हो गया, बिकॉज लॉर्ड के मुंह से डायरेक्ट निकला है। और इसमें कुरुक्षेत्र की बात हो रही है, बिकॉज द प्लॉटिंग हैपेंड इन द कुरुक्षेत्र, कुरुक्षेत्र में ये हुआ था। सो दैट मीन्स इट टॉक्स अबाउट हिस्ट्री एज वेल। सो ये आपका वेद भी है या पुराण भी है, सो ऑल टुगेदर दिस इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बोथ, सो दैट इज व्हाई इट बिकम्स अ बुक, not Ved or not Puran. It is a combination of both of it, for both of it. That is why I am telling you that this is a book. And what we do, we just pray, we just say Jai 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 Jai, and we just do not even dare to read it at all. And we just read foreign books. There is one writer, I do not, I must think that you have read this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. This is a famous book, 15 million copies sold worldwide. So this author came in IIT Bangalore once and he was asked that sir आप ऐसी book लिख कैसे देते हो कि 15 million लोग आपकी book पढ़ लिए? So what is the secret of you writing this book? So then this author said that I have driven all these 7 habits from Bhagavad Gita. So then the people from IIT like Hyderabad, they got shocked. They said, what? But we have Bhagavad Gita, and so why are you still successful? Then this author said, the only reason is कि मैं भगवत गीता पढ़ता हूँ और आपके लोग मेरी बुक पढ़ते हैं. The author said, आपके जो इंडियंस हैं वो मेरी बुक पढ़ते हैं, मैंने जो लिखा है, और मैं भगवत गीता पढ़ता हूँ जो गॉड ने बताया है. Again, so this itself shows that all the eminent personalities go through it. Let's go into the another section. So through this, like circumstantial and substantial, become a substantial person, become a warrior, not warrior. There is a slight difference. Warrior, WARIIOR, warrior, and warrior, यानी चिंतामणि, right? एक होता है warrior जो लड़ता है, warrior जो चिंता करता है. So लड़ने वाला बनो, चिंता करने वाला मत बनो. So become a warrior, not a warrior. This is what is being told by Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is also trying to say that instead of becoming a strongly mental man, instead of becoming strongly mental man, become mentally strong. Become mentally strong. Strongly mental man होने की बजाय mentally strong बनो. So that is the thing. So yeah, Tanmoy, please check your network. Please check your network. And the recording is also there, so you will be getting the recording as well. Don't worry. So now let's go to the next part. And this shloka is very important. So please be with me. I will take only 10 or 15 minutes. After that, you can go and enjoy your weekend. But this is very essential. The next shloka, the next work, it is one of my favorites. So Krishna talks about goal setting as well. Goal setting. How to set goals in life. What should we do in our life? There comes a time in all of our lives where we think that what should we do? It happens with student as well when he has to opt any career. It happens with a professional as well. When he thinks of switching his career, it happens with an entrepreneur as well. When he thinks from becoming an employee to an business person, and it happens with everyone. सबके साथ ये होता है कि बने क्या, करें क्या? What should be our profession? And at that point of time, Krishna says once in one shloka where he says that Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Ekaha Kuru Nandana. Vyavasaya, yani occupation. Atmika, yani myself. Buddhi, yani intelligence. If these three things unite, means my occupation, myself, and my intelligence. If all these three things come together, then that is called goal. Then that is called goal. यानी कि जब आपका occupation, जब आपका intelligence और जब आप ये तीनों एक हो जाते हैं, then you are bound to be successful. Occupation, intelligence, and you. When these three things unite, then you become ultra rich, then you become ultimate successful. व्यवसाय, आत्मिका बुद्धि, एकः कुरु नंदना. जब ये तीनों चीज एक हो जाती है, ऑक्यूपेशन, इंटेलिजेंस एंड यू, then you are bound to get success. And again, this is the principle that has been given into this book. And this is why, and this is how important goal setting is. And this is again the one of the most popular lessons that is being delivered in Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 2 is, by the way, one of the most famous chapters of all. And in chapter 2 as well, God says one thing, and this is the most like misinterpreted shloka. So I guess all of you have heard this, that कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन, means कर्म करते रहो, फल की चिंता मत करो. So let me tell you with the help of these examples that if you focus on the fruits, not on the roots, then you will not get the fruits, not the roots. हम फोकस क्या करते हैं? हम फ्रूट्स पे फोकस करते हैं, पेड़ के फ्रूट्स पे. फोकस क्या करना चाहिए? पेड़ के रूट्स पे. अगर आप रूट्स पे फोकस करोगे, एंड ऑटोमेटिकली यू विल बाउंड टू गेट गुड फ्रूट्स. बट व्हाट वी डू, whatever we do, whenever we work, we always try to focus on the fruits, कि फल अच्छा मिलना चाहिए, and we do not even take care of the roots. So Krishna is telling you through this verse that you should always focus on your actions, you should always focus on your efforts. We try to consume ourselves with negativity. We always try to think of the results. अरे मैं ये कर लूंगा, मैं वो कर लूंगा. But you never try to be honest with your work. आप रूट्स पे फोकस नहीं करते. तो जब आप रूट्स पे फोकस नहीं करते तो आपको फ्रूट्स मिलने में प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. So if you want to have the good fruits, focus on the roots. That is when you will be getting the good fruits and roots all together. Krishna is telling all of this. So what we do in our life, majority of the times we focus on unsure, not on the sure. Your result is unsure, your effort is sure. So try to work on the things which are sure, your efforts, and forget about the unsure, which is not in your hands. Because if you try to focus on unsure, you will not put requisite efforts, neither you will get unsure, nor you will be getting the sure as well. So focus on sure, you will be getting the unsure. Again, this is being told by Bhagavad Gita. Now let's go to the next one. And before going ahead, there is a famous line which God has said, that is, अगर काम करोगे तो फल मिल भी सकता है, नहीं भी मिल सकता है. बट अगर काम नहीं करोगे तो फल तो नहीं मिलेगा, इतना श्योर है. सो काम करो, फल मिले या ना मिले दैट इज डिफरेंट, बट नहीं करोगे तो वन थिंग इज फॉर श्योर कि फल तो नहीं मिलेगा. अगेन गॉड इज टेलिंग अस थ्रू दिस वर्स एज वेल, थ्रू दिस एक्ट. And one more thing, this is going to be the last verse for today, because there are multiple verses, 700 shlokas. It is not possible to recite every single one, but I have just tried my level best to extract some of the important things so that you can start implementing in your life, not in your communication skills, but in your personal life as well. The last thing which I have for all of you today, that is, in Shloka 2.70, Lord is giving a fantastic example. This example is that we have all seen the sea, right? Samudra हम सबने देखा है. 5200 years. अच्छा, उस sea में नदियां कितने सालों से जा रही हैं? 100 years, 200 years? 5200 years भी नहीं. जब से दुनिया बनी है, from the time this world is evolved, तब से sea है, समुद्र है, जिसमें कंटिन्यूअस नदियां जा रही हैं. The river water is continuously coming from all the directions, but still sea का level हमेशा से same है. sea का level कभी भी change नहीं हुआ है. sea हमेशा same level पर रहता है. The river waters from different countries, different states and different directions keep on coming, and they finally collude in the sea water. but still the level of seawater remains the same. And from last thousands of years, it has been happening. So Lord is trying to teach us that you do not have the control on the negative thoughts. These rivers are like the negative thoughts. The rivers are going to bring the garbage along with it. So these rivers are going to bring the positivity as well. So positivity bhi aayegi, negativity bhi aayegi. But you have to remain in the same level, just like the sea water does. जैसे समुद्र सेम लेवल पर रहता है, नो मैटर कितनी भी नदियां उसके अंदर आके मिले, the same thing you have to replicate in your life as well. Negative people are also going to come, positive people are also going to come. Negativity is also going to come, positivity is also going to come. But you have to remain calm, you have to maintain your state of mind. And then Lord supports this answer by saying that anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. Famous shloka, my God. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam means accept the favorable, reject the unfavorable. One of the most important shlokas. Nadiyan आएंगी, thoughts bhi आएंगे. The thoughts which can help you to achieve your goal, accept it. The thoughts which are garbage and which cannot help you, reject it. So you have the control. Accept the favorable, reject the unfavorable. You have to control, you have the control. God has given you that control. So if you try to communicate with people, and if people say negative about you, or if you are trying to do something and people do not understand your vision, so you have to accept everything. Then take only positive thoughts and reject the unfavorable. God is teaching us this as well. So just like seawater remains calm, and so you have to be, despite all the challenges and problems that tries to enter inside of you. Again, Lord is teaching through his actions this as well. So in short, this verse covers each and everything. This book covers each and everything about what we can think of. And Arjuna has asked all the questions. There are 574 shlokas that is being recited, that is recited by that was recited by Lord Krishna. 84 shlokas by Arjuna, 41 by Sanjaya, and 1 by Dhritarashtra. So in this entire book, whatever you can think of, you will be getting. And as I told you that this book addresses the soul, so it has nothing to do with religion, it has nothing to do with caste, community. This is a life manual book which you can consider if you come across any such situations. और अभी तो सिर्फ मैंने आपको 4 या 5 ही श्लोक बताए हैं. So see, in such 4 or 5 shlokas, you can learn from these shlokas a lot. So think of it. अगर आप ये पूरी book पढ़ोगे, so how much knowledge can you grab out of it? So many lessons are there inside of it. If you really want to dive deep into it, then please consider reading it, because it has a lot more to offer. Great personalities, they have actually adopted it. And let me tell you the end results, because I have written the end results, benefits of reading. You should know the benefits of reading this manual. So if you read it, then you become emotionally balanced. Then you become free from sinful actions and propensities. You become free from doubts and get confidence. You become spiritually more determined. You develop self-confidence. You get the knowledge on how to live your life. You become stronger. You become more intelligent. You become humble. You get out of the bad association. आज हम लोग जो बात करते हैं ना, that remain with positive people. You are some total of 5 people you surround yourself with. This has always been, this is already written in the Bhagavad Gita. You know, in science, Jagdish Chandra Basu, he was the person who discovered that plants are living beings. But in Bhagavad Gita, 5,200 years ago, it was written clearly that this soul takes 84 lakh births. In one of them, tree is also there. Means soul tree में भी होता है. तो उन्होंने तो वहां prove कर दिया था that even tree has also life. Christopher Columbus, who proved that the earth is round. But in this word, in this book, it has already been written 5,200 years ago that bhugol. Bhugol means kya? Jo goal hai, that is bhugol. So this has also been written so many years ago. So whatever you can think of, you can find each and everything in this book. And even Prime Minister Modi in one of his conferences said that इससे ज़्यादा best gift मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है दुनिया को देने के लिए. So this is the best gift that I can give to anybody who wants to change his life. And that is why wherever he goes, he just offers this book to people, to the prime ministers, to the presidents of the respective countries, because he thinks that this is the best gift that he can give. And so English Times, so I also thought, English Times also thought, then that in this Holi, this is the best thing that we can do for all of you. We can just share some of the lessons so that you can take the learnings out of it and you can get the benefit out of it. So I hope this session has made some sense and this session has given some inputs, valuable inputs to all of you. And if you are looking for a solution, then consider reading Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much. So now if you have any questions, anything which you would like to discuss or anything you would like to say, you can ask. And if you want many more of such sessions, please do tell so that we can try next time we can bring something else from this book. Thank you so much. Yes, is there anybody who has
First
to...
of all, sir, it's amazing. Yeah, sir, it's an amazing session. And it was kind of meditation session. We gathered lot of wisdom, but we attended a meditation session. I find is this workshop like that. And from the very beginning, which tranquility you possess, that always appeals me. And yes, I truly believe that Bhagavad Gita is not only a scripture, but it is a life lesson given by God. However, I have read it 5 times, but which essence today I get from your speech, that is really amazing. And I got a lot of insights. Thank you so much. And try to arrange these type of workshop for again and again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful comments. It means a lot.
Yeah.
So yes, we have someone who always believe in giving back to the humanity. Yes, Neeraj sir, we would like to know from you as well. Thank you so much, first of all, for coming. And how did you find it?
I have read Gita many times. Many times is one time, not many times. One time I have read, but I have not understood anything. And just you said ना, अभी आपने बोला कि बहुत सारा, अब actually I forgot that आपने बोला कि for something we have to read something like that you said ना. So itna deep insight into that from the very first shloka, the deep insight. It is very nice to see these insights. And by chance I got a call and I had to leave that session, and I felt when I came back I saw it is about to finish. So I felt very, I did not like that call, but it was from a long distance, so I had to hear that. But it was amazing session. And I think these are the insights which no one others have told us. These insights of the management qualities and all these things, these only you can only tell. This is one of the best sessions I have attended.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. The words coming from your side means a lot. Thank you so much.
Really, it was not the words, it is a real feeling I'm telling you. This is not the words, it's the real feeling. In from my heart, I'm telling you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, is there anyone like if you have any question or something to share, you can always say. You are now the platform is open.
Yeah, hi Arindam.
Yeah, very good evening, Miss Anita.
Yeah, actually I have some queries, so I really want to know from you.
Yeah.
though you said that the management qualities and all, and you also shared about all these things, that how to, overcome it. And I learned a lot of things from you. At first, it was an amazing session, and first time you had introduced, and it's great somehow. And like I learned a lot, and I was thinking that okay, if this kind of the things happen, then why that we all suffers a lot? Though you gave it very nicely, but I really want to know that many of us that we're facing a lot of challenges, and we try that to push it, we try that to fight against that, but sometimes we are failures and we don't fight it. I mean, whatever that we just try, whatever that we try to fight against that, we couldn't get the success, right? So how we can just manage and continue along and long ahead? And if like that what happens generally, like once you just receive these things, like against of someone your surrounding not liking to you, something like this, that you can, okay, you neglect it and you just, I mean, eradicate these things from your mind and you remove all these things and you just be continue with your work positively. Second time, same things happens, then third, then fourth, then fifth, then sixth, then seventh, 10, 9, 100 times, then definitely you will just face a lot of that turmoil inside, and then you frankly you just really drop your the decision, drop your work, whatever you want to take. You don't want to take that. You just stop it. So at that time, how we can just pursue further, how we can just continue further, that I want to know from you. I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3 times. I'm talking about like 15 times, 20 times, many times these things happen. How?
So first of all, thank you so much, ma'am. This question is one of the best questions that I would definitely like to address. So that I definitely would like to address. So now let me tell you that absolutely, ma'am, it happens. We do not have the control of the circumstances. Now, again, let me go back to the verse itself, Bhagavad Gita, because I'm a very small being to answer this question, but still I would like to try. So if I talk about Arjuna, so once he got motivated after 700 shlokas that now he was ready to fight the battle, then he had to go through a lot of suffering. He had to kill his Bhishma Pitama, who was a grandfather for him. He had to fight with Bhishma Pitama. So he had to fight with his family member to whom he used to love the most. He used to care for the most. Then he had to fight his teacher. If teacher goes against you, my God, the student completely breaks. If the teacher says that you are a failure, you cannot do it, then the person breaks. And at that point of time, it happened with Arjuna. The teacher came and he had to fight with his teacher as well. He had no any other option. Then followed by the most epic Chakravyuh, where he had to lose his son. I guess there is nothing worse than a father losing his son, and he had to lose his son. And the worst thing that happened, that while his son was dying, he was not even aware of it, that my son was going through such kind of things. He was completely ignorant. When he came back, then only he did realize that such thing has happened with his son. Followed by he had to lose his son from Draupadi as well. And then later on he had to lose so many relatives of his. Now, ma'am, do you think that it would have been easy for Arjuna to do all of these things after Bhagavad Gita? And didn't he get demotivated? After losing his son, he felt terrible, like the entire motivation, entire wisdom just went by. But it was just because at that point of time too, he was clearly focused towards his goal. He shaked a little bit, but still Lord was there with him. who continuously guided him to pursue his goal. So every single thing, even Dhritarashtra, even from people Arjuna used to love the most, he suffered the negativity from them. Arjuna had to go through 13 years of life sentences, where 12 years he had to spend in the forest and 1 year being a person, being a transgender, right? For an year, he actually was a transgender, and he had to live that life as well. Beside, though he was a prince, but still he had to go through all these challenges. So every single step in Lakshagraha, if I talk about, I do not know how many of you have idea, but in Lakshagraha means it was a place where all the Pandavas were tried to burn by Kauravas. So Arjuna had to go through a lot. And when a person who has this conviction that despite going through everything, if still he says that I will do, then only Bhagavad Gita emerges. Then only Lord Krishna consider them as the right candidate for Bhagavad Gita. So after going through all these challenges, Krishna found him that now he is the perfect person to whom Bhagavad Gita should be delivered. So ma'am, whenever, like if the circumstances, if the situations is completely negative, we should always remind ourselves that even Bhagavad Gita also emerged in between negativity. When the fight was there, when the battlefield was there, even Bhagavad Gita also emerged from the negativity. So when the situations around us completely go and backstab us, but still if we have a focus, if we have a belief, as in chapter 2 I said that circumstantial and substantial, no matter whatever happens, if we are very much clear about our goal, and if we do not allow external factors to disturb us, just like seawater does not allow rivers to disturb its flow, then definitely that person can be considered as a successful. And in fact, before concluding my answer, I would like to tell you one thing, that in chapter 2 itself, Lord Krishna said that putting efforts is in your control. And if you put your entire efforts, your occupation, your mind, your intelligence, and yourself into your work, then do not think that you are entitled to get the result. Your work is to keep on working. Your work is to be honest with your work. Because if you feel that at the end you will be successful, then you are foolish. Completely, he said, you are foolish. So I have given you only one authority, that is to work. If you work, leave the rest to me. I will make sure that you will get success. If you do follow all the principles, all the things, for example, he's simply saying that become substantial. If you have a belief on your goal, then go. And I started my session with this song as well. Jodi tor ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. If people do not believe on your dreams, then just go alone. So जब आप अकेले चलते हो तो आप लीडर बन जाते हो, because then people start following you. जब आप लोगों के साथ चलते हो तो आप भेड़ चाल चलते हो. जब आप आगे चले जाते हो तो आप लीडर बन जाते हो, and people follow leaders. So this is the thing. Absolutely, to be honest, it is not easy. I'm not telling that it is not easy. It was not easy for Arjuna as well to come out as a victorious person. Neither it is an easy thing for us as well. But Bhagavad Gita makes sure that whenever we go through it, it has timeless and time-tested wisdom. We can always refer to it, and it can help us stay on the track. Bhagavad Gita never says that I will solve your problem, but it says that I will keep you on track. Just focus on your work, and definitely do not focus about your results. Focus on your efforts, and you will be entitled for success. Simply and clearly stated by God. You will get success, but do not hope for success. Focus on your work. I will take care of the rest. That is the thing. I hope, Anita ma'am, it answers your question. And I will try my level best next time to read it more further so that I can give you more clarified answer.
Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you. It was really like I'm thinking like this that you are a preacher. You're a good preacher, and you speak very nicely each and every points and everything. And I think so that Arindam, you just conduct this kind of sessions, every month, at least one or two, so that we all can get the ideas because. Whatever how much I got to know about Bhagavad Gita, that many of the people just try to read, they do it, and they finish the 4 times, 5 times, but still they couldn't understand that the reality and the actuality, right? So at least through you that we all get some ideas, and we can just learn a lot. We can implement the same things in our work, in our the life style as well. So that will help us to improve ourselves first, right? So please make this kind of the things every the month, at least one or two, so that all get motivated and and feel great, feel great themselves that they have certain idea about this, and it will help to everyone, I guess. So please make it like this, and thank you so much that you have conducted very nicely. And the way that you just made it, I never have seen the the time as well, and now I got to know, oh, it's too much time, but it was just, I thought that it just have started now. So thank you so much that it was a really great, the amazing workshop at all. I never have seen the workshop like this. And yes, please, it's my request that to conduct like this, at least in a month, one or two.
Thank you, ma'am. Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. And in fact, yes, ma'am, you said it very nicely that people do read it 5 times, 6 times. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, in one shloka, it has been written how to read. At first, hear, then understand, then digest, then repeat, and then work. So these are the 5 things that is actually being told in one of the shloka, that hear, understand, digest, practice, work upon it. So if these 5 principles, if we start applying, then definitely we too can drive the maximum out of it. So thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for your praises. It really means a lot, and definitely we would be conducting such kind of sessions so that all of you can learn from it. And this is a timeless wisdom, time-tested wisdom. You can easily go through it, and definitely it will prepare you for your success. As there is a saying that success is 80% mindset and 20% skill set. So yes, 80% is what we have to work upon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arindam. Thank you.
So is there anyone who has anything to say?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Reshma. Good evening.
Sir, in this section, you have said that we should not be a mentally strong person. We should be mentally strong.
Correct.
Can you please clear the sentence?
Okay. All right. So the sentence is, you should not be strongly mental man. आपको strongly mental नहीं बनना है. You have to be mentally strong. आपको mentally strong बनना है. So strongly mental का मतलब पागल नहीं होना है. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, because of lack of direction हम लोग mental हो जाते हैं. When we see that the situation is not working according to us, तो हम लोग mental हो जाते हैं. So in other words, I can say कुछ लोग बिखर जाते हैं, कुछ लोग निखर जाते हैं. तो जो बिखरना है उसको बोलते हैं strongly mental, मतलब strongly पागल हो जाना. और निखर जाने को बोलते हैं mentally strong हो जाना. Same situation, right? Same situation है. कुछ लोगों को ग्लास आधा खाली दिखता है, कुछ लोगों को ग्लास आधा भरा हुआ दिखता है. Situation same है. Now it is up to you कि आप क्या सीख रहे हो. आप strongly mental हो रहे हो, आप बिखर रहे हो, या आप mentally strong हो रहे हो, निखर रहे हो. So this is the explanation, Reshma. I hope now it is clear.
Yes, it's clear. This section is totally amazing, and we have learned a lot of things from you. Thank you, sir. It's took us. Please arrange next time this section also.
Sure. Thank you, Reshma. It really means a lot. Thank you. Okay. So I hope all of you are, all of you are satisfied with the session. Now this recording of the session will be provided to you in case if someone missed it out just because of the network. So don't worry, you will be getting the recording. So thank you so much for coming and taking your time. It means a lot, and definitely we will be having such kind of sessions in future. So once again, happy Holi, enjoy your Holi, and happy Choti and Badi Holi, all of you. Bye, good night, have a great evening.